Okay, hello. Good evening, everyone.
Good
All of
evening,
you.
sir.
Good evening,
Okay.
sir.
Okay.
Good
So
evening, sir.
today's one more thing is I think the Sunday session was cancelled, right? Uh, okay, there was some issue occurred on that day. Today's session is solve with us session. Many of you I think don't know how we are going to do these sessions. So I'll tell you first what to do, okay, and then we'll start with that session. So in this session, what we are going to do is I will present some questions to you. You have to solve those questions along with me. These questions are basically on the very similar to the questions in the graded assignment. Okay, so when you solve these questions here, you will get the idea, and you can try to solve that grade assignment based on this uh, session. Okay. One more thing here to notice, what you have to do is whatever I'll tell you, just follow those instructions, and you'll be able to solve it. 1 minute. So we'll start. And whenever we are solving one question, right? If you have any doubt regarding the concept in that question, you just ask me. Okay. How to ask the question? How to ask the doubt? You have to raise your hands. Fine. Just don't speak at a time. So what happens generally in these sessions is everybody will start like talking at the same time. So just raise your hands. I will take the names, and accordingly you have to uh, like you have to ask the questions. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, fine. So whenever a lot of people wanted to say yes, you can use the emojis also, you can use the reactions, you can just set the hands. Okay. So yeah, Kajari, do you want to say something? You have raised the hand.
Yes, sir. I just want that. Can you please explain the absolute zero concept once?
Yes, yes, yes. We'll discuss everything. Uh, just follow me first, and then we'll discuss every concept. Absolute zero concept also. All the interval, then ordinal,
Hmm.
nominal, all the scales of
Ratio
measurement.
scale.
Most of the students,
The
yeah,
scales
most of the
of
students.
measurements are getting confused.
Yeah, I understand. I understand. So a lot of people will get confused with that. So we'll discuss. So
Oh,
first of
thank you,
all,
sir.
yeah, first of all, we'll solve the questions. We'll try to finish within 1 hour, 1.5 hour maybe, and after that, later half an hour we'll keep it for all the queries. Okay, and if any query is there when the question ends, you can just raise your hands. I will try to answer those questions. Okay. Okay. So I'm presenting my screen here. Okay. So the screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Just a moment. So all of you go to your browser, whichever browser you're using, Chrome or Firefox or any
Chrome,
other
sir,
browser.
Chrome.
Okay, go to that browser and uh, write joinpd.com.
What is the code, sir?
First of all, write joinpd.com. Open that link,
Yes, sir.
joinpd.com.
I open it.
Okay. So my screen is visible to everyone.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
sir.
Visible.
Right. So this is the
Yes, sir.
code you have to use PWBRKI on joinpd.com.
Sir, code for this section.
This is PWBRKI.
Okay, sir.
Done, sir.
Yeah, let the others people join. So there are around
Done,
50
sir.
to
Done,
60.
done.
Yeah, it's okay.
Done, sir.
It's fine. It's fine.
Done, sir.
Done, sir.
Okay, please don't say that. Like, a lot of people will say that. I'll start. Okay. Yeah. You just whenever you completed anything, just uh, like use thumbs up. That is fine. Okay, this is a slide. I think it is visible on joinpd.com also, as well as on your screens. Uh, okay, so it is basically saying what is population and what is sample. So what is population? Population is the total collection of all the elements that we are interested in. It's
Yeah,
called
the
a
for the
population. And what
password,
is
sir,
sample?
please.
Password is here on the top right. Okay, PWBRKI. Here, if you can see on the screen, on the right side of the top right of the screen, it's PWBRKI. Okay.
Yeah, got it, sir.
Okay. So, what is population? Population is the entire collection of elements which are we are interested in. Okay. And what is sample? It is a subset of population. So, a sample is a good representative of population when it reflects the characteristics of the population. We'll try to understand what is population and what is sample through a simple example. For example, let's say there are 10th class students, okay, or maybe 12th class students, right? So they give the board exam. Or suppose we will take one example as there are students who apply for JEE in 12th class, correct? So how many students will apply for JEE exam in 1 year? Suppose let's say 8 lakh, around 8 lakh students. Okay, from where, which regions they will apply? So all over the India, right? So we have around 30 states and other union territories also. From there, the students apply and join the or write the JEE exam, right? So let's say what is the population here? All the students in India who are going to write the JEE exam in that year. So that is our population which we are interested in, right? So what we are interested in, why we are interested in, we wanted to know what is the result of JEE exam for that particular year. So so that our interested population will be all the students in India who are writing the or who are attending the JEE exam in the particular year. So that is my population which I am interested in, right? Or which I wanted to analyze for the data for, right? And let's suppose to analyze this data, what I have done is I have picked the students, let's say from Tamil Nadu. I have picked around 1,000 students from Tamil Nadu, right? And I have analyzed their results for JEE exam. Okay, so what are these 1,000 students? These are
Sample.
these
These
Sample.
are
are these
sample,
are sample, right?
Yes.
but
Okay,
not
this is
good sample.
right because why it is not good, because I have collected those 1,000
Only
students
from
only
us,
from
the
one state,
single state.
right? But still it
Yes.
is a sample, but I cannot say that it is a good representative of a population, right? Okay, so if I wanted to have a good representative population, a sample which is a good representative of a population, what I have to do is I will pick 100 students from each state. Okay, suppose 100 students from Tamil Nadu, 100 from Delhi, 100 from Maharashtra, 100 from Telangana, Karnataka, and all over the states in India, all the union territories. So from every section, or in the proportion of population from every states, I have picked the students, right? So in that case, let's say I have picked all the 1,000 students from uh, uh, every other state, right? So what these 1,000 students in the second case, what they represent? They also represented a sample, but
Sample.
it's a good
Good
representative
sample.
sample of a population. So when I do study on this 1,000 students in the second case, the results which will come out, I can say on a lot of confidence that whatever result I'll show to you, it will be a will have the good confidence on that data, right? Or whatever inference we are saying about, right? So suppose the like you know, right? The media persons, they will conduct a surveys for the election, right? So this is a very popular scenario where we can use the sample and population thing to understand. So what happened is, so there will be a lot of people from India who are eligible for voting, right? So in India, those who are above 18 or years of age, they are eligible for voting, correct? So in the election, how many people will vote? Suppose we have we have taken one state. Suppose, let's say, in Maharashtra we are having the election this year, and there will be, let's say, total of, let's say, 3 to 4 crores people will do voting for that election, right? So media or any channel, right, they will say that this party will win with that percentage, right? Okay, or what is the vote share for the parties in that election before even the election commission declares the result, right? How do they do that? So they won't go to every other person and ask for their like ask that uh, whom do they vote, right? How do they collect the data? So among those 3 crore people, the media person can't go, or any survey agency can't go to that every other person and ask for their opinions, right? So in that case, what they do is they will collect the sample, right? And it should be a good representative sample from each area, and based on their opinions, they will predict or they will infer about the results, right? So if you see the results, nowadays, if you see, most of the times the results shown by media before the election commission declares the result, it will be almost very closer to the correct results, right? Or sometimes it go wrong. That means their strategy to collect the data from that sample is wrong, correct? So if you choose a wrong sample, the results you inferred about the population, they might be wrong. So while choosing a sample, you should be very careful. So you understand, right? So 3 crore people in Maharashtra who are applicable for voting, they are what? They are a population, correct? And what is sample? The people chosen by a survey agency to understand the results. So that is the sample. You understand, right? So why population sample is important? Because you cannot have or it will take a lot of time and efforts to and also money also, right, to understand the true nature of a population. So generally what the people do, they will collect a sample, which is a very faster way. Another thing, it will take very less time to collect the opinions or data from the sample. Third thing is, the money involvement will be also be
Yes.
less. And if you so if your strategy or of data collection or whatever data you are collecting, right? So if it is good, then what will happen? Your results will be very closer to the actual results, and we can rely on the results based on the samples, correct? So you understand the difference between population sample, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
let's try to solve some questions then. So this is the first question. So this is prelude one to the question one. So the question is, the data given or the information given here, it is 400 freshmen are randomly selected from all the departments at Delhi University for a survey that intends to determine the average score obtained by freshmen of Delhi University in high school. Okay. So what are these 400 freshmen? Freshmen means first year students.
Sample.
Yes, sir.
The samples.
Samples.
Sample, right? And what will be the population in this case then?
All
The
freshmen.
All
whole
the Delhi
university
University.
state.
All students at
All
Delhi
All
University.
freshmen.
All students, not all students, all
All
freshmen,
freshmen.
right?
students.
Because all the
Students.
students, that means
Yes.
all the students in the all years, right? So answer to this question, these are the four options. First option is the 400 selected students. Second option is all students at Delhi University. Third is all freshmen at Delhi University, and four is all freshmen at Delhi University mathematics department. So I think in that joinpd.com, right, the peer deck one, uh, you'll get some box or something else to choose from, right? Just click on that button, or maybe if any option is there, Just choose the option, or maybe you can write one or two, something like that. I don't know what is showing it to you. Maybe it should show
Yes,
options.
I select
You have to
select
select
It's
option.
Showing
showing four
options, sir.
options.
Please select
Yeah.
the options, sir. Yeah. Yes.
Teacher,
But there is no button for submission, sir.
No. It is already submitted. So you can see the responses here.
Done, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So 77 of 124 students have responded. Others, please respond. So I'm seeing that around 100 students have responded. Option A is given by 3 students, option B is given by 7 students, C is given by 88 students, and D is given by 1 student. So the correct option, you can see, it is C, right? All the freshmen in uh,
Yes, sir.
Delhi University will be the population, because that is my interested population, right? I'm interested in the students who are freshmen, and to analyze that data, freshmen's data, I have selected 400 freshmen randomly from all the departments. So will that be a good sample, or it's a bad sample,
good sample.
Good sample, sir.
Good
right?
sample.
Why? Because it is
Because it is
selected from
randomly
all the
selected.
departments,
Yeah.
God selected from all the departments.
right? Okay, fine. So we'll go to the second question. So yeah, solution is there. I think I have already discussed that. I'll share the slides also at the end of the session. I'll share that with you. Okay. So yeah, this is prelude to question number one. So here, okay, this information is same. The thing is, what is the sample now? So you have to again write. You have to again choose one option among these four.
Done, sir.
No, it's okay. Sir. Just take your time. Let others be complete.
Sir, in the meantime, may I ask you?
Yeah. Just go ahead.
Since we are selecting 400 freshmen from all the departments in randomly, which one would be a better which one would be a better selection? Like
Okay, random
same
selection you are saying, or
from all departments, for example, 10, 10 or 20, 20, like each from each department,
Hmm.
or random numbers like 25 from one department and 50 from a different department. Which one would be
So
the
yeah,
optimal?
okay. In that case, okay, there will be two types of sampling actually, biased one and unbiased. Maybe this is not the scope of this course right now, but yeah, okay, we'll take it on the later side. But yeah, what do you think? Let's, in my opinion, right? Suppose there are, let's say, four departments are there, and in one department, let's say mechanical. So I'm I'm talking about the scenario some years later, like some 10 years back. So mechanical engineering used to be a like a lot of students used to apply. So most of the colleges will have that intake of around 180 students for mechanical, and others will have 60 students in each department. So let's talk about four departments here. Let's say mechanical engineering, computer science engineering, electronics, and civil engineering. These are the four basic branches of engineering, right? So suppose mechanical is having 180 students, CS is having 60, and other like electronics and civil also are having 60 students. What do you think if I'm going to select 400 students from each, or not 400, let's say 40 students of in this all four departments? Will the 10 10 10 will be good one, or should I go for the in proportion of the number of students? Since mechanical are having more number of students, do I want to take more number of students from mechanical engineering, or should I take 10 10 10 from each in the each of the department, or should I take randomly whatever numbers are there? So one thing is, if I'm going to choose randomly, so if I'm going to select for 40 students only, okay, in that case, if I chose all 40 students from mechanical itself, suppose, what will happen? Will that be a good sample?
No, sir.
No,
No,
it
sir.
will be heavily
No, sir.
influenced by
Right?
mechanical
Or
scores.
maybe 20 from mechanical, 20 for CS, and I didn't take any student from civil and electronics. Will that be a good sample?
No, sir.
No.
No, sir.
Again,
No,
no, right?
sir.
Again, no, sir.
So the good sample will be that sample which is a representative of that population. So representative means, because I am having 180 students in mechanical, 60, 60, 60 in others. So that ratio comes out to be one third of. So when I'm choosing 40 students, so out of that 40 students, how many like total how many students are there? 180 plus 180, right? Around 360 students, right? So in what proportion I should select the students? If I'm selecting 40 students,
According to the student of the
yeah,
classes, proportion wise, I
So
think.
1:1:1:3.
right, like that I have to choose, right? So in
Common
the,
ratio.
yeah, if that proportion should be so my population consists of mechanical, civil, electronics and computer science, right? But in that also mechanical is having more population, or so I, the representation should also be comparatively more than the other branches. So it should be like that. So suppose there are one third more more students are studying in mechanical engineering. In my sample also, the representation should be higher than the other branches, right? Do you understand, or do you get like what I'm trying
Yes,
to say,
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
right? So I think that will be a good sample. Okay, that means you have to consider all the cases also. It is not like always you should go with the the numbers only. Sometimes it depends on other factors also. So whenever you are collecting any sample, right, it will involve a lot of factors. So you have to consider all the factors, and accordingly you have to uh, choose the sample. One more thing is why that random comes, because uh, that means again there is a chance, if I select uh, particularly only 10 students, right? So let's say there are 180 students in a mechanical engineering, then if I select top 10 students only, and if I wanted to analyze the results of that, then again it will be a biased one, right? So that is also not giving the correct results. In that case, what I have to do is I have to take the random students. uh, so whenever I'm selecting the random students, in that case I will assume that uh, the chances of all the variety of students I will get, and I'll analyze their results accordingly, right? So that is one technique. So you can learn about these techniques in the later courses, but yeah, this is the brief. Like I want to talk to you about in the brief, like how to choose the samples. But that is okay. How to choose a sample? It's again a very big debate, but this is the basic thing I want to tell you. Okay.
Thank
Okay.
you,
Have you
sir.
completed this question? Okay, fine. So option A, 96 students have given. Option B, 3 students. C, 7, 2. So yeah, that means option A is the correct option, right? So let's go to the question number 1. Okay, again I think we have discussed this also. Is the sample a good representative of the population?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Just put yes, and we'll proceed to the next question.
Sir, just one question. Is that method called as cluster sampling?
Which one?
The sampling method that you explained, is it called as cluster sampling?
Cluster sampling. I I'm not sure like whether that is cluster sampling, because again, okay,
Uh,
I
Because we are creating clusters of each trade of engineering, and then
yeah,
out of we are getting the samples with the same ratio as the
correct.
population. So
Hmm.
it is somewhere
Yeah,
close to cluster
it is
sampling.
yeah, it is closer one, but again we have to like I can't say directly that it is cluster sampling. We have to see if any assumptions are there with the cluster sampling also.
Yes,
Right?
sure.
But it is, yeah, it is, you can say it is very close to, because we are clustering them into 4, and according to their ratios we are just selecting, right? So it is very close to that one.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead. Okay, okay, this is descriptive statistics. So what is descriptive statistics? So it is a part of statistics which is concerned with the description and summarization of data. Okay. Okay, again, it can be computed for both the sample and population. So I'll give you an example again with the same thing. Uh, okay, some noise is coming. Can you just note it? Okay. So descriptive statistics, what does that do? Suppose, okay, again, I'll take the same example, which is the number of students who are appearing for the JEE, right? So suppose, let's suppose there are 10 lakh students who are appearing for JEE exam, okay? And I have taken 1,000 students, which is a sample, uh, and I'm analyzing the results of them. So suppose I said that average marks of these 1,000 students is, let's say, 200 marks out of 300, right? So I'm saying that average marks of the students, uh, average marks of 1,000 students who appeared in JEE are 200 marks out of 300. Okay, and one more thing I'll say is, um, the average marks of the students who are appeared in JEE in the particular year, of, like, let's say, of all the students, all the students is, suppose 190. So what I have done here, and I have the data of both. So I have data of sample also, sample of these 1,000 students. That means I have all the marks of this 1,000 students, plus I have all the marks of all the students, like all the students who are appearing for JEE. So I'm having the marks of 4 lakh students, plus I'm having the marks of 1,000 students, and I'm based on this data, I'm saying that this, the average marks of this 1,000 students is how much? Let's say 200, and I'm saying that average marks of this 10 lakh students is 190. So what I have done here, how I found out the average marks here for sample and this population?
By descriptive analysis.
No, like how generally we find the marks?
You added all the marks of all the students and then you subtracted with the number of students.
You
Divided.
divide it with the number of
Yeah.
students.
Yeah, divided by. Okay, so that means if I want, what so if I wanted to calculate the average marks of this 4 lakhs or 10 lakh students, what I have to do, I have to add all the marks of this 10 lakh students, right? And then I subtracted by 10 lakh, so that will give me the average marks for all the population. And if I wanted to do the same analysis for 1,000 students, which is a sample, what I'll do, I will add all the 1,000, all the marks of this 1,000 students and divide by 1,000. So this average marks, or finding the maximum marks, or finding the minimum marks of the students, uh, what is this? This is a description of the data, right? So I'm having all this data, and I'm describing the data. I'm not inferring about the data, right? I have all the data of, or I have all the marks of this 10 lakh students, and based on the marks of this 10 lakh students, I am saying that the average marks of this 10 lakh students is 190. I have the data of 1,000 students, and based on this 1,000 students marks, I am saying that average marks of this 1,000 students is 200, right? So this is what descript, because I'm describing the data, right? I'm not inferring about the data. So that means I can use this descriptive statistics on both sample as well as on population, right? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So inferential statistics will come when I'll say that, okay, I have this. Let's say I have the data of this 1,000 students only, and I do not have the data of all 10 lakh students. Okay. So based on this 1000 students data, if I say based on this sample of 1000 students, I'm saying that the average marks of all the JEE students might be, let's say, 170 based on the marks of this 1000 students. So in that case, what is this statement? So what I'm doing here, based on this sample, I'm inferring about the population, right? Right?
This is the kind of prediction.
There will be the techniques, but yeah, it is kind of prediction here right now. But yeah, so in inference and prediction is somewhat closer, but we cannot say the prediction every time. It will be inferring about the data, right? Or you here we are predicting that the student, the average marks of all the JEE students, it might be 170 based on what, data of 1000 students, which is a sample, correct?
But sir, if we have the data of all the 10 lakh students, and even
Huh.
then, if we want to just perform it on the sample data of
Huh.
1,000 students, then
Right.
is it considered an inferential statistics?
Still, if your statement will be like this, right? If my statement is based on the 1000 students data, I'm assuming, or I'm predicting that the marks of JE students, it might be 170. But if you have all the population data, and with that calculation you found out it is 180 marks, right? So what I've done on population is I have done the descriptive statistics on population, and I have done the inferential statistics on sample. But there is a difference of 10 marks here, right? But so every time we don't have all the data of population. So in that case, what you have to do is, I cannot be able to find the average marks of the students of population, right? Because I'm not having the data. In that case, what I have to do is I have to use the inferential statistics. So the better example of that is the election results, right? So the survey agencies give the results one day before the election commission announce the result, right? So in that case, what they do, they are inferring about the, or they are predicting about the results based on the sample. So they have done the inferential statistics on what, a sample of the voters, but the accurate result, or we know the results after election commission gives, because the election commission have all the data of the voters, and based on that data, based on that calculation, they will say that okay, whose party wins with what percentage, right? So that is a descriptive statistics. So you can understand from here is, we can perform descriptive statistics on sample and population, right? On both, but we cannot perform inferential statistics on population, because we cannot perform, right? Because performing on population, what will infer about the population, right? Or from the population, we can infer about the population from the sample. So we can only perform the inferential statistics on sample, right?
Yes, sir, got it.
Descriptive
That means
statistics can
that
be
when
done
the
on,
population is given, that time this is descriptive statistics. And
it
when
will
the
always be
only
descriptive
sample
statistics.
is given, then
Huh,
only this is inferential statistics.
right, but we can perform the descriptive statistics on sample also, right?
Yes, if the population is given.
No, if you have only sample,
Mm.
so let's say you have the marks of 1000 students, and if I say the average marks of this 1000 students is 200, that is what,
Mm.
descriptive statistics, right? Because I have all the data of 1000 students.
Yes.
But based on this 1000 students, if I am predicting about 4 lakh students, what does that mean?
Oh, okay. When you are guessing, when you are doing about only that student, this is descriptive. And
Descriptive, right?
wherein the predicting about all the population, then
Population,
this is in.
yes, that is the difference between descriptive and
Now
inferential,
I get it.
right? All of you understand, right?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, okay. Then we'll move to the question. Okay, so I think I have completed this part also. So we'll, yeah, this is question number 2. Again, I think the information is same. The question is, what can you say about the nature of study? Just take 2 minutes. I'll just come back. Okay, 77 students wrote that inferential and 27 are saying descriptive. Okay. So I mentioned, right? So we have the sample 400 freshmen, and we are predicting about, or we are going to determine about what average score obtained by all freshmen of the university. That means based on the data of sample, or based on the information given in the sample, we are inferring about the entire population. So it's inferential statistics. So option B is correct. Okay. Okay, this is the question number 3. This is the data of students enrolled in BS data science at IITM, and it's shown here. So here the first column shows roll number, second column shows name, third column shows course, number of assignments submitted, marks in percentage, and teachers review. Okay, what is the scale of measure? First of all of you just try to tell me what kind of variable are these. So what is the roll number? Is it numerical or is it categorical?
Numerical.
Categorical.
Categorical.
Okay, why it is numerical? Because it is having numbers?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
No,
It
no,
is
it is incorrect. It is
It
incorrect.
is a number,
It's
but we can't do any
non-meaningful.
kind of operation with number, just like
Sir,
addition, multiplication.
it don't
has
have
no
unit.
meaning.
Doubling the name.
Okay. All of you, please. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I understand. So I understand your emotions.
Categorical.
Okay, this is categorical variable. Why? Because even though these are the numbers, we cannot able to perform any meaningful mathematical operations. What does that mean? Meaningful mathematical operations is, suppose if I wanted to add the roll number of 157 and 298, so we can definitely add, right? So 298 plus 157, how much it is? It is around 455, right? But that 455 roll number does not make any sense, correct? So I cannot
Yes,
say
sir.
the roll number of one person, so roll number of Ishan and roll number of Mayur, if I'm adding these two, does that make any sense? No, right? So and hence it is, even though we are able to perform mathematical operation, it is not meaningful to add, or if it is not meaningful to do this kind of mathematical operations on these numbers, and hence it is not a numerical variable, it is a categorical variable. So certain examples of this is jersey numbers. So for example, the jersey number of Virat Kohli is 18 and the jersey number of Sachin is 10. So if you add these two jersey numbers, does that make any sense?
No,
No.
sir.
Even though we are able to add these jersey numbers, right? 18 plus 10 is 28, or 18 minus 10 is 8, or 18 into 10 is 180, right? We are able to do mathematical operations, but these are not meaningful mathematical operations. These are meaningless mathematical operations, and hence roll number or jersey numbers or even the phone numbers, even though they have numbers, they are numerics, they are not what numerical variables, they are categorical variables. Okay, what type of variable the name is?
Categorical.
Ordinal.
Categorical, right? Categorical variable, it is clear. Okay, what type of variable the course is?
Categorical.
Categorical.
And how many categories you are seeing there?
Sir, 4, sir.
Four.
Four
Four category.
categories. Right. Okay, fine. What about number of assignments submitted?
Ratio.
Ratio.
Right.
Categorical.
Ratio.
That is categorical.
Numerical.
Ratio.
Ratio.
No, no. We'll come to that scales of measurement later. But just tell me what is numerical or categorical?
Numerical.
Numerical.
Numerical, right? Right.
Numerical.
Because I can say that the number of assignments submitted by Ishan and Mayur are 4. That means what I have done here, I have added 3 and 1, and that is meaningful, right? Number of assignments submitted by 2 persons, I can add, or I can say that the Mayur has submitted uh, two two assignments lesser than Ishan. So that means I am able to do what? Subtraction also, or I can say that the assignments submitted by Mayur are lesser than Ishan. That means I can do comparative analysis also. Correct? The comparative analysis I cannot do on roll numbers also, right? Because it is again meaningless. I cannot say 298 roll number is lesser than 157, or in case jersey numbers, right? But but okay, comparative I cannot say here because these are anyway these are numbers, so I can say. But mathematical operations we cannot perform. Meaningful mathematical operations we cannot. So here in number of assignments submitted, I can say that 4 plus 2 is 6. So the number of assignments submitted by Prashant and Ishant are 6. So that means what I have done here, I have added the, so I have done the addition uh, operation, which is meaningful. Okay. Similarly, what about marks?
Numerical.
Numerical.
What about teachers review?
Categorical. It's an unstructured data.
But this is unstructured one because even though it is in tabular form, there is a problem here. So this teachers review, it is not in particular category, right? It is like doing good and regular in answering. So there are not fixed categories here, right? So we are not able to easily recognize and find what teachers review is. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it so when it is in terms of this, right? Good, bad, or average or excellent. If the teachers review are in that format, then it will be a structured data. But right now this data is unstructured.
It's neither categorical nor numerical.
But when we have the unstructured data, right, we cannot you know you cannot categorize into any type of variable. I cannot say it is a numerical or categorical here because it's already unstructured. We have to make some like we can actually change it into the categorical data by doing some operations, or you can see, right? So first statement, doing good and regular in answering, I can say that it's teacher's review is good, right? I'll give the remark as good. Improvement but irregular in class, that means average, like that. If I do the category, if I prepare the categories, then I can make this unstructured data into structured data. But right now it is unstructured, and unstructured data doesn't have any category, so I cannot categorize into numerical or categorical. Okay.
Sir, I
Okay.
have
Now we'll come to the scales of measurement. Okay.
Can
There
I
are
ask
4
one
scales of.
question?
Okay. Yeah. Please. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Sir, you are telling like when you have unstructured data in a data set, then we can say it is a categorical or it is a numerical. Then it is going to belong neither categorical or nor numerical. So my doubt is,
Yeah. Correct. But
yes.
you can actually make into that. So I given you the example, right? We can change it into categorical or numerical, right?
Yes.
You can make the categories, and then it will become structured data. So that is a bigger task actually in data science. If you see, the biggest task is data pre-processing, right? Where you convert the unstructured data into structured data, right? So yeah, okay, but yeah, you will study about that later on. But right now, this is the thing.
Yes, sir. So there is a question asked like they're given the data set like this, and one of the column is unstructured data. The question is the entire data set is a structured
Unstructured or unstructured. It will be unstructured.
Yeah,
Because
that means if there is a column, it's unstructured, then the whole data set is unstructured. You're right.
you can say like that. But in general, right, when you prepare a table, like in a tabular format, it should be a structured format, right? But
Yes.
if you have one column where it is in unstructured one, that means you can say that either you can say that that column is unstructured, but broadly you can say that it is unstructured data. So the exam point of view, I can say that it will be unstructured data.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, fine. Now we'll move to the scales of measurement, right? The scales of measurements. So when your data is categorical, it is having two scales of measurement. One is nominal and another one is ordinal, right? When your data is, sorry. Okay, so when your variable or data is numerical, then it will be of, you'll have two scales of measurement, which are interval and ratio. But interval and ratio scales of measurement are also having the properties of nominal and ordinal. So we'll discuss about that later. So first of all, try to uh, understand about nominal and ordinal. Okay, tell me, nominal and ordinal belongs to what?
Categorical data.
Categorical data. Okay, fine. So what is nominal? Where the order is not present. So order is not present, that means I'm not able to do comparative analysis, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So and ordinal means what? I can order the data, right?
Order something.
Order that data. So if it is in terms of ordinal, then it is sorry. If you are able to order the data, order the categorical data, then it can be said that the scales of measurement of that data is ordinal. So I'll give you the two examples. For a nominal, I'll say that the names of students, right? I cannot have the order in that. So here in this data, in this table, I can say that Ishan, Mayur, Prashant. So I cannot say Ishan is greater than Mayur or Mayur is lesser than Prashant, or Mayur is greater than Prashant, or Mayur is equal to Prashant, or Mayur is equal to Ishan, right? That means what? There is no order in the variable. So I can say that
order
the
is
variable.
missing in this.
Sorry.
Order is missing in this scale.
Yeah. So and hence name is what? Name variable is having a nominal scale of measurement. Okay. Order, when it comes, when I say that, suppose you go to the shop to buy t-shirts, right? So it is having small, medium, large, extra large, like this category. So let's say there are these four categories: small, medium, large, and extra large. So by looking at these categories, I know that small category t-shirts are okay. I can say smaller than what?
Than M.
Than the medium, right? Similarly, medium is smaller than the large. Similarly, XL is greater than or larger than large, right? So I am able to order it, right? I can order these t-shirts in that way. So large, sorry, uh, small, medium,
Medium.
large, XL, right? So I can order them like this, or I can order XL, large, medium, and small, correct?
Sir,
So
weak name is can be in ordinal.
no, week names or days in a week.
Days or days, days in a week.
It cannot be, right? How can I say that Monday is greater than Tuesday or Tuesday is greater than Wednesday? I cannot say, right?
Like any reviews also is ordinal scales.
No, see, okay,
Weeks
one
of
more thing.
measurement.
Okay, just listen to me. So these scales of measurements are not every time the same for every data. It depends on the context of the data. So how you are collecting the data, accordingly, uh, the the scales of measurement changes. So sometimes, suppose if I say size of t-shirts, so what you'll say about that? If it is if that data is collected like this: large, medium, XL, and uh, small,
Yes.
in that case it is ordinal. But let's say if I collected the data in terms of centimeters, for example, 20 to 25 centimeter, 25 to 30 centimeter, 30 to 35 centimeter, 35 to 40 centimeter, what scale of measurement it is having now?
Ratio.
Numerical.
Interval.
Interval.
So if you see, if someone says to me that size of the t-shirt is having what scale of measurement, so I cannot directly say. What my question should be now, how you have collected the data. So he says that it is collected like large, medium, extra large, and small. In that case, I'll say, okay, the scale of measurement of that size of t-shirt is what? Ordinal. But if the person says, so whenever any person asks you, right, what is the scale of measurement of the time in the minutes, right? I cannot jump directly to the conclusion that it is ratio scale of measurement. No, I should ask the question, for what reason you are saying that what the time is calculated, or time is collected, right? So if somebody has collected the time in the intervals of the like for example, somebody plays game between 20 minutes to 30 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes, 40 to 50 minutes. In that case, the time measured in minutes is having interval scale of measurement, right? Right. And if I collected the data like that, okay, Mayur has played the game for 30 minutes, then Ishan has played the game for 20 minutes, or Prashant has played game for 25 minutes, then Nikita has played a game for, let's say, 20 minutes, then any like this, right? So if I collected the data in that fashion, then the time of minutes, right, it is what ratio scale of measurement. So always
So you said that if we collect the data in centimeters for the t-shirts and it is interval scale of measurement, but sir, according to me, it should be ratio scale of measurement.
No,
Because a
if it is
20 centimeter t-shirt is twice, I mean, twice
no
the
no
size
see
of 10
okay
centimeters
okay
t-shirt.
I'm saying that I'll say that, let's say there are 500 there are, let's say, 200 t-shirts uh, in a shop. Okay, if I say that I am having 20 to so I have prepared the categories here. So 20 centimeter to 25 centimeter, 30 t-shirts are there. 25 to 30 centimeter, 60 t-shirts are there.
Oh, okay,
30.
okay, sir.
So when I make these categories, then it becomes what? Interval. But if I say 20 centimeter t-shirts are 5, 21
Okay.
centimeter or
Yeah,
25
fine,
centimeter,
sir. I got it.
then it is what? Ratio.
Ratio.
So size of t-shirts, when I collected in 3 time like differently, then the scale of measurement changes, right? It can have
Yes.
ordinal, it can have interval, it can have ratio. So it depends on the context of the data, right? Clear?
So why the number
Yes,
of
sir.
t-shirts are changing interval to ratio?
Yes, sir.
No, it depends on the context of the data, right? Like how you are collecting the data. So data collection is done manually, right?
Sir, take another example for ratio.
Yes, sir. This interval ratio is confusing.
Okay, just a minute. I'll use some device to write. Okay, just give me
So
a minute.
according to the lecture, that
One minute,
ratio
one minute.
scale can be do all the arithmetic operation.
Yes, it can do. That doesn't mean like it should do all the mathematical operation. It can have, sometimes you find that division is not possible because meaningful division is not possible, right? But it can have the meaningful multiplication operation. So in that case, it is correct. It is a ratio because interval scale have we can do only subtraction or subtraction and
Addition.
subtraction and addition. Sorry, subtraction and addition or subtraction or addition. Just a minute, I'll tell you all the examples, then it will be clear too. Just give me a minute.
Sir, I have doubt, sir.
Sir, you are setting, you are telling the interval is 20, 25 and 30 and etc. So yeah, this is you are telling this is the interval scale of measurement. That is fine and totally understandable. But my question is, the absolute zero is exist in that interval because zero size means there is no size. So it's not in given data, but it is possible we are getting the absolute zero. So the given interval scale is not only interval scale, it is also a ratio scale of measurement. So is that right?
Sorry.
Or
I didn't hear. Yeah. Can you repeat once again?
yes, sir. So you're telling like 20 to 25 and 25 to 30. it is a interval scale of measurement is okay, sir. Yeah, so in the interval scale of measurement, I have absolute zero. That means, zero size means there is no size. So absolute zero is exists. So it is a ratio scale of measurement. If it's an interval scale of measurement, it's also a ratio scale of measurement. So finally, we conclude this is a ratio scale of measurement.
Actually,
No,
sir is saying
no.
that already he's categorizing in particular sizes.
See, okay, 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 just a minute. So I went to a shop. Okay, just understand the scenario. I went to a shop. Okay, there are, let's say, total of 200 t-shirts are there. Okay, and I'm kind of a lazy person, or okay, whatever kind of person I am. What I have done is I have collected this information and I have written in this format. So suppose I say size of t-shirts, okay, and I'll say frequency of these t-shirts like this. So frequency means number of t-shirts, right?
Yes.
Number of t-shirts. Okay. Okay. So let's say I said small, large, sorry, medium will be there, right?
Medium.
Large, and XL. I say small t-shirts are how many? Let's say 30, medium are 60, large are let's say 80. So how many? 170, and it is again 30. So when I collected this data, then this size will represent what? Ordinal.
Ordinal, sir.
Right? And it is categorical data.
Yes.
Right? Okay. One more person went, okay, suppose, and he has collected the data like this in centimeter. He says that let's say, I don't know, the sizes are let's say
30, 32.
20 to 25. Okay. Okay, let's take 30 to 32, 32 to 34, 34 to 36, and 36 to 38. So this size, it is what? It is numerical, right?
Yes, sir.
And what scale of measurement it is having?
Interval.
Interval. Sir, ratio.
Interval, right? Not ratio, because it is categorized, right? I cannot able to perform any multiplication or meaningful
Sir, but it have
multiplication.
absolute zero.
Yeah, it has
No, absolute zero. Okay, I'll tell you the concept of absolute zero. Don't. Okay, how it can be used, I'll tell you. But see, to have a ratio scale of measurement, the two properties should it should have two properties. What these two properties are there? One is it should have absolute zero, and another property is what?
It should be
We
able
are
to
able to do all mathematical
Yes.
arithmetic.
Ratio should be meaningful.
Sir, we are measuring in centimeter. Then it should be ratio scale.
Okay, I'll tell you how it can be ratio scale. I'll tell you. I'm coming on to that also. So suppose I say that I know the perfectly the size of t-shirts. Okay. Okay. So okay. So I went and I say that size now in centimeter, and I'll say number of t-shirts. I say the 30 centimeter sizes shirts are, let's say 15, 32 are 15, okay, 33 are, let's say 33 centimeter sizes also are there available, and I'll say it as they are 30, 34 are there, and I'll say that they are having let's say 40, and 35 are having let's say 50, kind of like this. So this size now, because I can able to let's say, okay, one more I'll take example of 45 now. Okay, 45 are having 20. So in this case, this is numerical, right? All of you agree with this?
Yes, sir.
Right, because I'm able to do the you know, meaningful mathematical operation. How I can say that there are like there is a difference of 2 centimeter in these two sizes, right?
Every
I can
frequency.
say that 32 centimeter size t-shirt is greater than 2 centimeter, greater than 2 centimeter than the 30. Like, yeah, right. So I can say that this is okay, right? Okay, that is one more thing. Another thing is, can I say that this 45 centimeter is 1.5 times 30 centimeter?
Yes.
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 Does it give me any wrong thing?
No, sir.
No.
No, sir.
Sir,
Hmm.
for an example, if we take 0 Kelvin to 10 Kelvin, then 11 Kelvin to 10 Kelvin to 20 Kelvin, 20 to 30, then that will be also an interval scale of
Interval,
measurement.
correct,
Right,
yes.
right. It will be interval. When
Okay, so
when
I got it. So
make
if
an
you put
interval,
anything in interval, it will be interval, right?
interval, right?
Okay.
And degree Celsius by default, if you don't put into the interval also, it is
Yeah, it is interval. Yeah.
Why? Because it is not having
Absolute
absolute
zero is not there. Yeah.
So there should be two properties. So any kind of variable, a numerical variable, if it have these two properties, absolute zero, and it should have all mathematical. We are able to. So what mathematical operation I have performed here? Multiplication,
Yeah.
or I can say division also.
Division also possible.
Same thing, right? Same thing anyway.
Yeah.
So because I say 45 by 30, sorry, 45 by 30, it is coming out to be 1.5. The similar thing.
Yes.
However, I wanted to write accordingly it will change. So this is the concept. And what about absolute zero? I'll tell you about that also.
So why it is not meaningful 45 by 30?
It is meaningful, right? It is meaningful. That is 1.5. That means what I can say is 30 centimeter, or I say
1.5 times.
is 1.5 times then, or 30 centimeter, right? Whatever. So I can say that 45 equals to 30 into 1.5. Same thing. Or I can say that ratio of this 45 centimeter and 30 centimeter is 1.5. Same thing actually. Multiplication and division are not different actually, right? How you are.
You was telling that this is not ratio scale. That's why I am asking.
No, it is the ratio scale. Okay.
The third table, sir, it's shown that it is a ratio.
See, when I have collected data like this is interval. When I have collected the data like this, it is ratio.
Numerical.
Sir, I have a doubt, sir.
You are saying
Sir,
absolute
if
zero.
sir, if the example you have taken of t-shirt, at the first column and at the last column, if there is written less than 30 centimeter and more than 45 centimeter, then it will be ordinal cell.
Ordinal. It will be ordinal. So if I say one more category, less than 30, then 30 to 35, 35 to 40, 40 to 45, and more than 45. Right? If I do like this, then because the gap between this interval is how much? 5 centimeter. Here also it is 5 centimeter. Here also it is 5 centimeter. But here it is not 5 centimeter. I don't know how much it is. Right? Here also I'm not
So
sure.
gap should be same always.
Similar, yeah.
Can you explain more about absolute zero? How to determine that?
Yeah, I'll tell you. Oh, so you understand, right? First of all, you understand, right? Then this will have ordinal scale of measurement, and this will become what? Categorical variable.
This
Not the
will not
numerical
be interval.
No, this is not interval scale of measurement. It is not having, because it becomes a categorical variable. Okay. Now we'll talk about absolute zero. Please, some noise is coming from. Please mute that one.
Sir, you can mute.
I need to see, right, who is talking there.
Mayur.
Mayur is me only.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So yeah, please mute yourself. Okay. Absolute zero concept, right? So what does that mean? That means any quantity is not present. That is called absolute zero. For example, let's say so it should not be like zero. It should not be written zero there. Suppose I went to a kirana shop and I ordered what, or let's say there are 10 customers who went to a kirana shop and they order the sugar. Okay. Suppose, okay, so there are customers and they order sugar in kg. Okay, this is the data. Okay, so there are, let's say, 1 2 3 4 5 customers, and first customer has ordered, like, let's say 5 kg sugar. Second customer ordered 3 kg sugar. Third ordered 2.5 kg sugar. Fourth one ordered 2 kg sugar, and fifth one order, let's say 10 kg sugar. So okay, first of all, tell me what about this variable? This is numerical or categorical?
Numerical.
Numerical.
Right? Because we are able to perform mathematical operations. Can we add these two? Yes. 5 plus 3 means 8 kg sugar. Does that make
Yes,
sense?
sir. Yes, sir.
It makes sense. I can subtract 5 minus 3, and I can say that there is a difference of 2 kg sugar taken by customer 1 and customer 2. Right? Is it meaningful? Is it meaningful to say?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Again,
sir.
can I say that the customer 5 has taken twice sugar as that of customer 1? Is it meaningful?
Yes.
Can I say?
Yes, sir.
Can I say the customer 4 has taken 5 times lesser sugar than the
Customer 5.
customer 5? That is meaningful. Okay. So, uh, can anyone like any customer went? Let's say the sixth customer went and he does not take any sugar. So that means I say 0 kg sugar.
Yes, sir.
Right? So 0 kg sugar means what?
The customers didn't
Nothing.
Nothing.
Not
That
it.
means
Didn't
the
bought
sugar is
did
not.
nothing.
Yeah, that means sugar is not present, right? Okay, let's say there are 6 bags, and in one bag there is no sugar, and I weigh it is as 0 kg. So that means there is no sugar present in that bag, right? So when I say, and can I take minus 2 kg sugar?
No, sir. It's not
No,
possible.
sir.
No,
Can I
no, sir.
can I take minus 1 kg sugar?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Can I take minus 10 kg sugar?
No, sir.
So that means I cannot take any sugar. That means I can take 0 kg sugar, right? That means
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
I'm not taking any sugar. I cannot go below 0. If I wanted to order something, then I can go for 0.5 kg sugar, or 1 kg sugar, or 0.1 kg sugar, or 0.001 kg sugar. But I cannot go minus side, right? I cannot go below 0, right? That is absolute 0. Okay, where I do not have any, so that reference point of any variable, where from where I cannot go negative side, right? Or I cannot go the other side of it. I can only go in the positive side. In that case, and absolute 0 means no quantity is present. So at 0 Kelvin, no temperature is present, or no molecular activities are present, because temperature is effect of molecular activities, right? So when I say 0 Kelvin, that means at that point, so that is the reference point where no molecular activities are present. But 0 degrees Celsius is not same as 0 Kelvin, right? We have minus 5 degrees Celsius, we have minus 10 degrees Celsius temperatures. That means that 0 degrees Celsius is not absolute 0, right? And hence, ratio scale of measurement belongs to what? Or it is having properties of what? It can have absolute 0.
Negative values.
Absolute 0, that means okay, it cannot have any quantities present. And another thing, all mathematical operations, all meaningful mathematical operations uh, can be performed, right? Okay, is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Can you tell
now
me any one more example which is of
take this example, marks.
So, sir, like for example, in J exam, we have negative marks, right? So, therein, does the absolute 0 exist there?
So height.
No, when we have
No.
negative marking, right? In that case, it
Yeah.
will be interval scale of measurement. It is not a ratio scale of measurement.
Okay.
Height, weight.
In marks, how
any
absolute 0
other
works?
example? Can you tell me which is of not having absolute 0?
So right now she said no, negative marking. If you have negative marking,
okay,
we can have we do not have absolute 0 at 0, right? So that 0 marks, when we are having 0 marks in the negative marking system, that means that 0 is not absolute 0, because we
That
have,
0 means something, right?
yeah, that 0 is also having some meaning, right? Below that we are also having marks, right? So that means that 0 is greater than minus 1. That 0 is greater than minus 2, right?
Yes.
And there is a difference between -2 in that 0 and -2. So we are able to perform mathematical addition and subtraction below 0 also. So that means that
That
negative
scale is
marking.
there is interval, right? In those cases, the scale is interval.
Yeah,
So
it is
in
interval.
marks, absolute 0 works.
Absolute 0 will be here in this case it is absolute because it is in percentage, right? So 0%, we do not have -2%, right?
So
0%
when
will be
this thing is going to minus, then there will be no absolute 0.
definitely yes.
Sir,
And it can come directly into interval scale of measurement, not in
but
the
someone has scored 40 marks and someone has scored 80 marks. But we can say that
no in the negative marking system, right? No, in negative marking what will happen, when it is positive marking from 0 to 100, right? What will happen, because that 0 is my reference point, right? So the gap between this 0 and 20 is same as that between 20 and 40. But when I have negative marking, suppose I have my negative marking up to -20, so -20 to 100, right? What is, how much gap it is? It is about 120, right? 120. When I say 80 is 2 times 40, that is not a correct sentence. When I am having marks from 0 to 100, right? In that case, you see 20 minus 0, right? And 40 minus 0. So 0 is my reference point here. But in -20 to 100, the reference point is -20, not the 0. You're understanding one point?
Sir, can I say that qualifying marks is absolute 0?
Which qualifying marks? How you collected data? I
Sir,
told you, right? Whenever you are saying any data, the question should be asked is how you have collected the data. Based on the data collection, I can say about the scales of measurement, right?
Sir, if we don't have negative marking, then will it be ratio scale?
Yes.
So then we can say that someone has scored double marks than someone.
Yes, in that case it is correct. Okay.
Yes.
Sir,
Sir, overall, sir, this is according to exam point of view, right? If somebody, we don't have a negative marking and we have only like list minimum mark is 0, then it is a ratio, because overall the marks is not considered as a scale of intelligence.
Sorry, scale of intelligence, I don't understand that one.
Means if I scored like 20 and somebody scored 40, then maybe on that particular day the questions were asked where what that person prepared and I did not prepared.
So you should not see with that perspective. But when the exam is of like let's say 100 marks exam is there, no negative marking is there, so I can definitely say that 40 marks are twice as that of 20 marks. I am not talking about, because the student is another variable, right? His intelligence is another variable, but the marks here, but because see, if you see this data also, name is
Sir,
less
in
than the course.
actually what I'm saying, sir, in general it is not accepted, because I've read couple of articles and they say that in general it is not accepted, but according to exam point of view, it will be considered as a ratio scale.
Which one?
Marks, if it's related to marks. The minimum is 0 and there is no negative marking, minimum is 0, or then according to exam perspective, it will be like a ratio scale of measurement, but overall it is not considered to be a ratio scale of measurement, because marks cannot be considered as a scale of measurement of intelligence.
Okay, maybe that is a different perspective of it, but what I am feeling is, if you are saying that scales of whatever the scale of intelligence based on the marks, right? Then it will be the different category itself.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, don't connect that marks to anything. I just wanted to see only marks. What I'm saying is, these are the numbers, right? Marks are numbers. I'm not going to conclude about the scale of intelligence of any person. I'm just saying that these are the numbers. So 40 marks are 2 times the 20 marks, right?
Yes.
Can anyone change that thing?
No.
No, right? But when those marks means to something, so that means the scales of intelligence that depends on the marks, right?
Okay.
So that means these two variables are there. In that case, you can have. When I see the data, right, I'll see.
No, sir, I understood
Individual.
actually, but I was just saying that in general
Yeah,
it is
okay.
not considered, but for
No, it's
according
okay.
like for qualifier it will be considered as ratio.
Yeah, I think we should stick to this thing only, right? Let's
Sir, I have a question.
debates, maybe a lot more debates will be there. Okay.
Hello?
Okay. I think, okay, first of all,
Hello?
solve this question and then we'll talk. Solve this question first. Question number 3.
I think it's done already. Long lecture, it's done.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Fine. So, 1 minute. 77 students nominal, 27 ordinal, 3. Okay. We'll see the answer now. So it is nominal scale of measurement, right? Because there is no specific order in the roll numbers, right? Okay. Yeah. Again.
Sir, we cannot order the roll numbers.
Right. We cannot order, right? How can we order the roll numbers?
Yes.
Sir,
So that
actually,
is
I don't
nominal
know
scale.
last time you covered it or not, but I was not there. I just want to, sir, know that serial numbers are not considered as a nominal also, right, sir?
Actually, serial numbers. So we had a discussion with Usha ma'am actually, the 3-4 terms back. So serial number actually, these are the indexing purpose, right? They are
Yes, sir.
used
Yes,
as
sir.
an indexing purpose. So we are not
Okay.
considering them as variable itself. We are
Okay,
not
sir.
saying
Fine,
it is a
fine,
variable
fine.
itself.
Yeah,
So
okay,
when it
fine.
is not a variable, then we cannot categorize into anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Either
Okay, sir.
categorical or either numerical. So serial number as considered as only used for indexing purpose in any data table. So we are not categorizing it. Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay.
Sir, I am J Advanced qualified. How many marks do I have to get in the test of BS degree data science?
40 only, right? So okay. So here, please don't ask the operational related questions here. Just ask that in the discussion forum. Okay.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Case in this tabular format is variable or name, Ishan Mayur or 157 298.
What is? Sorry.
What is the case in this tabular format?
Okay.
157 or
What do you think? What do you think case will be? 157 or Ishan or what?
Ishan, Mayur, Prashant, Ishan.
Ishan Mayur,
The roll number.
Sir, students.
Student name.
No.
Roll numbers will be the case.
Roll number.
Roll
Why?
number. Yeah, roll number.
Why? Why
Sorry.
it is? Because the cases should be
roll number
unique.
represent whole row.
Cases
Name
should be
can
unique.
be used twice. There is one more student named Ishan, so that.
That is why it is not case. So here
So
cases
actually,
are roll number.
the primary key should be the cases.
Sir, I have a confusion, sir. So, the example you given back then, that the shard size, the size of the shards, if the interval is not constant, like for small, let's say 25
less than less than
25 to 25 to 31, then after that 31 to let's say 41, like that. The interval is not constant. So then is it ordinal or interval?
Ordinal.
Okay, sir. So when the interval is not constant, it will be categorical data and it will be ordinal.
Ordinal. Right.
Okay, sir.
Sir, in this table, if we write name in the first column, then the name will be observation. Means Nishan, Mayur, Prashant, Ishan.
No. Because observations or cases, they should be unique. And if you see, Ishan is actually again coming in the 4th row. So it is not unique, right? So because see, cases should be like that for which we are collecting the data, right? So if I wanted to say that, okay, if I say Ishan, tell me about Ishan. So there will be 2 Ishans, right? Then it will not be a unique thing. So if I say, tell me about roll number 157, then I say, okay, the roll number 157, the name is Ishan. He has taken stats 1 course. He has submitted 3 assignments. He is having 57.2% marks, and the teachers review are like this.
Okay, sir. If this is example of a class, but what about a just a group of people?
But if it is okay, if name is not repeating, right? If the name is not repeating, in that case, that can be considered as cases. But
so if we collect data from a group of people, the name can be repeated also, and there the case or observation will be the name only.
Why then how can you if I say Ishan, tell me about Ishan. So let's say there are 4 Ishans. Which Ishan you will talk about then?
So in that case, sir, what will be the observation?
Then you can assign some IDs to them, right? You can say that ID number 1 is this Ishan, ID number 2 is this Ishan, ID number 3 is this Ishan. So if I say that, okay, ID number 1, it will. So if you see, go to the hospital, in general, what they do, they will give you the ID, right? The patient ID, right? So they will not ask for names. They will say that, okay, the patient number this, please come, right? Or if you
The one another
But that
way
can
to
be
do that,
same
we
like
could use
the
composite key in that case. Basically, if the roll number is not there in this table, so we could you could combine name and course to basically make a key.
No.
Yeah, so I think you are talking about that SQL perspective. Okay, it will come in later
Not only
later
about
stages.
SQL purposes. It's
So
basically
that is okay.
the case of Ishan stat is one case and
Yeah,
stat is
yeah,
another.
it's okay, it's okay. But
In the case of census, when government of India takes the census, in that case, what is the case?
still it will not be name, right? Because names can be coming 2 times or 3 times, right?
Aadhaar
It should not
number.
be case.
But
We
sir,
have
there
to,
can't we take the serial number as the case because it's unique, right? For every
yeah,
person.
you can take. So that's what I'm saying. You should say that it is an ID, right? ID for some person, right? I can assign some ID, or else one thing is there. Let's say you have collected data for 100 people. So in that 100 people, it is not likely to come the same name again and again. But let's say same name comes also, I will have the surnames associated with. I have middle names associated with it, right? So if you have name, middle name, and surname associated with one person, then it can be unique. But sometimes it should not be like, right? We'll have the 4 5 person with the same name, with the same middle name, with the same surname. So it is better to have IDs associated with the people. That's why we have in class, we have roll numbers. If you go to any hospital, we'll have the patient IDs. If you go to any shop, they are having customer numbers, right?
Sir, one thing, if we don't want to give ID, or if my purpose of collection of data is not a student specific or a generalization, then is it necessary to have observation in my table or case in my table?
Uh, See,
Suppose in this table only, if I don't take roll number, or I go to a group of people and don't assign any ID or something. So my purpose of collection of data is something different for generalization of something.
Tell me the purpose, no? If the purpose, whatever your purpose is, and if it is not affecting these things, then it's fine. You don't have any IDs or anything or unique cases.
So
But
my data will not have any case or observation.
It's okay, na? If your purpose is not like that. But whatever I know,
If we don't want to process that data, then we don't require any unique column.
Yeah, but if you wanted to infer or if you wanted to describe something, generally what I feel is, and whenever some person is collecting the data, right, or someone is going to collect the data, they will have that IDs associated with it. But it's okay. I cannot argue on that. Okay, you just
So,
find any
sir,
example
my
where it is.
doubt is, so there can be a situation where a column has no observation or case.
It's okay. It's okay. What will be the issue then?
No, I was having this doubt, sir, that observation or case is compulsory.
It's not compulsory.
Okay.
Right? It's not compulsory. Anyway, the purpose of having cases is these are not the rules, right? These are
Sir,
not the
I
rules.
think like
Sir,
for
the
example,
roll
if we
numbers.
have a may I continue?
Yes, you are.
Okay. So like for example, if we have a household bill data and if we don't want to name the items for which we have spended money, so what we can do is we can just write 200, below that 400 rupees, 500 rupees, and that would make sense. So we don't have cases, basically we don't have the item names, but we have the cost. So finally we can add up and get the total for the month. So that would make sense, right? According to him.
ID is okay. ID is not there, but any particular utensil you are taken and for which cost you are taken, right? Then
Yeah, so we are not describing what is that item.
what
We are
you
just saying
are,
one day we have taken 200 rupees. Then the second row we write 400 rupees, 600 rupees.
That
What
is
does that mean?
simple addition, sir.
Yeah, it's
But
like
what does that
simple.
mean?
It's
It's a
expenses per day. Expense per day. So we are just
Okay,
writing the
okay.
expenses.
expense per day would be become an unique for every month. Like for each month,
Okay.
there will be 30 different cases
See,
for per day.
okay, I'll tell you. Okay, if you want, give me the example. I'll write it. Okay, I'll prepare a table. Just 1 minute. See, here anything is not permanent. Okay, whatever you, so it depends on the person who is collecting the data. But in general, the practices which follows are you should have some unique IDs or unique numbers associated with the data, because it will make sense. It will be very easy to find out the answers for that data. Okay, okay, tell me what should be my column name?
So I think the column name should be cost
Cost.
per day.
Okay.
Okay, and then just
Okay.
one below the other, you keep on writing the expenses that you make per day.
Let's say
Expenditure.
okay, 5 days I made. What is that? Okay, this is the data.
Yeah. So basically, we
This
don't
is the
have the
data.
cases,
What
right?
does it?
Yeah, it's like
1
we
minute.
can
1 minute.
just add up for the month.
But
We can
still it
simply.
is having some. This is
Yes, yeah.
this is not the data, right? Again, you'll write day one, right? Day one or day eight or something. You should
Right,
write,
right.
right?
That's what I was trying to explain. That his
That will be the
point of
case.
not
This is not
having
the
the
data,
data.
right? What is that?
Yes, yes. That's what I was trying to explain. That the observation will be there no matter whatever we try to make. So
Every
he said we
see,
can't have a case.
you
That's not
can't make
possible.
anything. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
what I'm
That's not
saying.
possible.
But I cannot counteract anything, right? Unless you come up with something properly. So I cannot generalize the statement that okay, you should always have the unique cases, right? It's okay. If the purpose is not like this, like for example, in this case, if I do not have roll numbers, it doesn't it doesn't bother me anything, right? In that case,
Yeah.
stats 1, Python, maths 2, and stats 2 become the cases.
Yes.
Yes,
Because
I
again,
got
these
your
are
point,
unique.
Sir,
sir.
actually, I
I
think
was
you were
just trying
saying
to
something
explain
like,
him. Yeah.
so
I was
sometimes
trying
we
to.
walk into the mall and they collect the data, but we don't give any ID or anything to them.
But they can assign by themselves, right?
Yeah, that is, yeah. But they will assign by themselves. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like that, right?
Yeah, that is.
Yes, sir, I agree
You
with
are
you.
giving information is not a problem. Who is collecting the information?
So once you collect the
How you
data,
will
there
collect the
has to
information?
be one unique field.
Yeah,
I
there
cannot
will
say that.
be.
Or
Again, I'm
without that,
saying.
you cannot process the data.
See, again, I'm saying I cannot say firmly that every data should have anything or any case or observation. But most of the cases which I know, it is having the cases. You can come up
Yes.
with any data where it should the cases might not be there or observations might not be there or they are not unique, but it does not affect whatever. See, the purpose of study depends on the data collected, right? And how you're and if doesn't if it is not having any effect of the cases on the purpose of study. So suppose if I wanted to say that marks by the students in percentage, so average marks by the students is this, does I require the case here? No, right?
No, no.
So even if I do not have roll numbers, even if I do not have these courses, I'll just say that average marks obtained by the students in a class are this. It's okay, right? It's completed. The analysis is completed, purpose is completed. In that case, I did not require any case. But in general, when you go out, it makes sense to have the cases with you, right? Because if you are collecting some data, you should have unique IDs associated with it. Because this is not a simple thing to do the surveys, right? If you are doing it professionally, then it should have a bigger data, a larger data. You will have multiple studies going over that data, and in that case, the cases should be there. So any structured data on the large scale, it should have the cases, which is in terms of IDs. It might be patient IDs, employee ID, whatever IDs or roll numbers, but it will have. You're understanding my point of right?
So, sir, you are saying that if there is no case in the data, so that is unstructured data, kind of like that.
No.
It's unprofessional, actually.
So it should not. See, if you, because we are studying the statistics one, right? It's very basic thing to understand uh, the terminology in the data collection, right now in the first week, right? But this is only how many students are there? Four students data is there. But in general purpose, in the practical purposes or professional purposes, how many like how large the data can be? It can be like in terms of lakhs, right? In terms like 1 lakh students, 10 lakh students, 10,000 customers, 30,000 customers. In that case, it should not be that data should not be without cases, right? It should have some cases. And because you are going to study a larger group, it should not get messed up, or you should not do any mistake without assigning the cases, right? Okay.
Sir, if here all the four students have
See,
different names, then we will take roll number as cases or names.
you can take both. Then roll number can be cases, or it can be the names can be cases. But then again, it does not make sense. You can cut down one column, and your data should have only one column where the cases are there. Then you need not require roll numbers, right?
Yes.
Okay. So let's finish off this question. Question number 4. What is the scale of measurement of number of assignments? I think it's again we have already discussed. I think that question, right? Okay. So it'll take 1 minute of time. I'll just come back. Okay. So let's move on to the next question. Option D is correct for this question number 4. Okay. Question number 5. Okay. Which of the collected data is unstructured? Which column is unstructured actually?
Sir, will you take at the end of the session a practice assignment question one, only one
Yeah,
question?
okay. Fine. We'll discuss. Just try to finish these questions. Now I think we have already covered a lot of concepts, so uh, you can just answer this question.
Sir,
Hmm.
can you please explain variables and case once again?
A structure and unstructured, what the difference?
I think I have discussed about structured and unstructured, right? Okay, let's do it once. Okay, first of all, variables and cases. So in general, the column names, they are considered as variables. Okay, so for example, roll number here. So roll number is considered as, so, so this roll number means I'm not saying 157 to 98. I'm saying roll number. So this roll number is a variable, because if you see, okay, let's say roll number is a bucket. Okay, in that bucket 157 comes, then 298 comes, then 306 comes, then 527 comes. What does that mean? Roll number is not fixed to something else, right? It is changing row by row, right now. So roll number is a variable. Okay, what about name? Name also is a variable because it is changing. If you see, first in the first row it was Ishan, then Mayur, then it becomes Prashant, then it becomes Ishan. Similarly, course, number of assignments, marks, teachers review, all are, okay, teachers review again it's unstructured, so I cannot categorize. So I'll say roll number, name, course, number of assignments and marks. They are what? Variables. Okay, what about cases? Cases are those things which are unique. First characteristic of cases is unique, and the second characteristic is uh, uh, for cases or for observations, we are collecting the data, or we are collecting the other variable. For example, I'm saying that for 157, I'm saying 157 roll number. So for 157, Ishan is a student. He has taken stats on course. Number of assignments submitted by roll number 157 is 3. The number of marks obtained by 157 roll number is 57.2, like this. So I cannot say for stats 1, I cannot say stats 1, for stats 1 number of assignments submitted are 3. Does that make sense? No,
No, sir.
right? So 157, for roll number 157, I am collecting the other variables, right? For 298,
Yes.
I am collecting the other variables. So why not then Ishan is a variable? It's because there are two Ishan present in this column. Hence, it is not a variable. But suppose we have, uh, let's say Nikita here. Okay, the fourth name. So Ishan, Mayur, Prashant, and Nikita. So Ishan is doing stats on course. He has submitted 3 assignments and he's scoring this marks, right? In that case, Ishan will be a case, Mayur will be a case, Prashant will be a case, Ishan will be, so Nikita will be a case. If it is not Ishan, but hence it is 2 Ishans are here, they are not unique. I'm saying that roll numbers are cases here. Okay, that means 157 is a case, 298 is a case, 306 is a case, 527 is a case. But roll number, this is variable. Name is a variable. Course is a variable. Number of assignments are variables. Understand?
Yes, sir. Now it's clear.
And about structured and unstructured data. So structured data is in a tabular format. It is easily searchable. Okay, unstructured data uh, is not easily searchable. That is the property of unstructured data. For example, if I say I wanted the information about roll number 298, what I'll do? I'll just directly go here, right, in the table, and I'm easily find the characteristics of this 298 roll number. But if I wanted to say I wanted to search uh, teacher's review that is irregular, then what I have to do? I will go here, doing good and irregular in answering, improvement but irregular in then I have to make hard work to search this particular word, right? Irregular, right? So it is not easily searchable. If I go, if I say I wanted to see the data of those students who have submitted 2 assignments. So it is very easy for me to go here and I'll say, okay, this is the person who has submitted 2 assignments, right? So structured data is tabular format and it is easily searchable. Unstructured data, it may be in tabular format or it may be may not be in a tabular format, but the important property is it is not easy to search, right? For example, lyrics, right? Any song's lyrics, if I wanted to find a particular word in that song, then what I have to do? I have to go line by line in that song and then I'll point out one specific word. It will be very difficult for me because I have to go through every line or every word in that song and then I'll find a particular song. So it will be very difficult for me to search, or for it, for the computer also to search, right? So that is the point here, structured and unstructured.
Sir, I have a question, sir. Here the roll numbers are given randomly, right? Hello?
Randomly means what? No, it may be given for the.
No, my question is if the roll numbers are given based on their performance, so then will it be ordinal or nominal?
Oh, okay. So you are saying that
If the roll
roll
numbers
number
are given,
one is
yeah,
given
yeah,
based on the number of
I guess
marks
that
according
it's
to,
called, it
then it
should
will
be
be
called roll
ordinal.
number, right? It should be a
Rank. You can say that as a rank, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, ranking.
So
It is
ranking, it will be
ordinal.
always be ordinal.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So yeah, write the answer for this question. Um, I think again I need not to discuss much about this also.
Sir,
It
done
should be
already.
option C. Yeah. So most of the people are done option C. We'll move on to the next question. Yeah.
Sir, I have a doubt, sir. I have a question. Sir, what is the difference between discrete and continuous?
It's very easy, right? Okay. Okay. Discrete means what? Discrete is countable, right? So you can count. For example, I can count number of students entering into the IIT. If I'm saying that number of students entering into the IIT, so it will be 10 students, 11 students, 2 students, 3 students. I cannot say 3.5 students, 3.555 students, 3.666 students, right?
Okay.
Right. So
Yes.
whenever I'm able to take all the numbers inside an interval, it is continuous. For example, the height of a person, right? If I'm going to measure height of a person, it can be 150.2 centimeters, 150.23 centimeter, 150.2345 centimeter, right? So I can take every number between 150 and 151, that interval. So it is called continuous data, right? And discrete is what? It is countable. So I can count. For example, I can count rupees also. For example, I not now, but yeah, let's say in the previous, when you have 50 paise coin, right? In that case, I had 2 rupees, then I had 2.5 rupees, then I had 3 rupees, right? 3.5 rupees, 4 rupees. But still, it is not a continuous data. It is countable because 2, then 2.5 and 3. So I cannot take all the values between 2 and 3, right? I'll just take only one value. That means it is countable. When
Yes,
I'm
sir.
able to take all the
Natural
values
number.
between an interval, for example, between height 150 and 151 centimeter, I'm able to measure. So the quantity which is measurable, it is continuous. The quantity which is countable, it is discrete, right? For example, number of students, number of players playing in World Cup, number of players playing in an Olympics, number of students participated in a cultural program, right? Number of trees that are grown, right, in your area, right? So this kind
Yes.
of things. Whenever I say number of things, that means I'm counting it, right?
Natural number
So
like
yeah, it is
Yes.
yeah, natural numbers. These are what?
Discrete.
So the set of natural numbers is also again a discrete,
a real
right?
number is continuous.
A real number is
Sir,
continuous, right? Because it can take
Sir,
uh,
all
is
values.
So
sir,
marks will be
excuse
what?
me. So I have a
sir,
1 minute, at a time, one person. Okay, just don't make chaos.
sir, you said natural numbers are count for use for countable and what, sir?
It is it is discrete, right? The set of natural numbers is a discrete one, right? Because I'm not
It's
able to, between 1 and 2, I cannot take all the values, right? We have a lot of values in between 1.1, sorry, 1.001, 1.0012, 1.003.
so,
Okay,
sir,
don't
for an example, if we say
okay,
this is a
I don't
discrete
know.
value, then can
Hmm.
we take the values can be 1.5, 2.5, 3.5,
So is it, the
4.5?
noise is coming from your side or from where?
Sir,
Yes,
I
sir.
can't hear.
But can you please mute so much background?
Okay, you can mute and just paste your answer in the chat or question in the chat box. I'll raise
Sir,
it.
sir, I want to.
sir,
One
for
minute.
example,
Don't
Can
I'm
make
you
chaos.
please?
If you do
Can
chaos, I won't answer anything.
yeah, for
If
an
you
sir,
are, if you
example,
wanted
if
to,
we are saying that we
hmm,
suppose we are observing a data of a numbers or like first 5 to 6 odd numbers, okay, 3,
hmm,
5, 7, 9, 11, and 13, and then
hmm,
we are taking the output by divisibility by 2. Okay, we are dividing all this first column is of this odd numbers and second column is the numbers which are divisible by 2. We are dividing those number by 2. Okay, so the output would be 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, 4.5. So isn't that a discrete value, sir? Because we have counted it, we have not measured it.
It is discrete. Again, it is discrete. No issue
Yeah,
on
okay. So that is what my question.
Yeah.
I had
So,
two questions. This
and
was
one,
one. Yeah.
okay. One more thing is, let's say you have this data, let's say numbers, right? Okay. And you have said divided numbers.
Yeah, the first column is
Let's say
3,
3,
5,
5,
7.
7, 9. Huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
3 I
Second
divided
column
by 2 is 1.5.
1.5, 2 point, then another is 2.5, 3.5, 4.5.
And it is 4.5.
Yes. So the
See,
second
these
column is
numbers,
discrete, right?
these numbers are discrete.
Okay.
Right? Second also is discrete.
Yes, sir.
Because
Okay.
I'm not able to take all the values between this interval.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, sir. So that is was my one of the two questions which I had doubt. Yeah, thank you.
So isn't it dependent on the data? Like if you take the data of natural numbers, then 1.5, if we have a number between them, then it would become continuous because it doesn't exist there.
No. See, if I say set of natural numbers, so let's say S is a set, right?
Yeah.
So how which values it will contain? 1, then
1, 2, 3, and so on.
right? So this set is discrete.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So I'm not able to take all the values in between in this set because I have already have constraint on that, right?
Yeah, right. And
So
if
if I have
the
constraint,
same
then
set, yes, please, sir.
next, yeah, go on. You're
Yeah.
saying no?
Yeah. I was saying, and if like the set is now for marks, okay. So now we can have even point marks, right? 1.5 and 2.5. So that would be considered discrete again, right?
See, okay,
That
1
was
minute.
my question too.
See, don't confuse between the things, right? So when this set is there, when I say this set of natural numbers, this is a different variable. Okay,
Yeah,
this is
right.
done.
Yes.
This is discrete.
Yes. Yeah.
This case is over. Now if I am
Okay.
saying that marks is another variable. Okay?
Yeah. So it's data dependent, right?
Yeah.
Whatever
Let's say
Marks is counted,
2.5,
so it will always
3.5,
be discrete.
4.5, let's say 6.5. Still it is
Yeah.
discrete because I'm
Yes.
not taking all the values here.
We are not measuring anything, sir.
Yeah, when but when let's say the marks, because these are like after this I'm jumping here, right? So we are not taking all the values. It is countable only. Marks also are countable. But when I have marks in terms of percentage, right?
Yeah.
Then it will have the problem, right?
Then it can be
Because
continuous.
I can have 2.23%, 2.233%, 2.2334%. So I can take all the values between 2 and 3, right? So marks
Yeah.
when I'm measuring in percentages,
That would be
it will be
continuous.
continuous.
Yeah.
And
Got
sir,
it.
if a round
Thank
off system is there, then
Again it is discrete. So see, you whatever questions you are having, right? Just think about how I am collecting the data. That's what I'm saying. It is depending on the data. So whenever you are taking that data and how you are considering that data, depending on that, I will say that it is discrete or not. It is not a hard and fast thing that I will say that marks is always be a discrete, right? When I'm saying marks in percentages, I'll say that it can be continuous, right? But in general, if you see any data which is countable, it is discrete. Any data which is measurable quantities are what? Weight measured in kgs, height measured in centimeters, right? Right. So this data is what? Continuous, because I can measure height in between or volume of a room, or you can say the petrol, right? So how you measure the petrol in terms of liters, right? So that is a volume of petrol, right? Or a volume of a tank.
And
Everything
then
is
price
comes
of a
under
petrol is continuous.
price of petrol. If it is measured like in terms of that that 1.111 thing, right? Then it will be continuous. But if it is like let's say 100 rupees, 150 rupees, 200 rupees, 121 rupees, like that, then it will be discrete. Discrete means
Okay,
what we
depends
know.
on the context.
Yeah, so yeah, depends on context, depends on the data how you're actually collecting. One more thing is discrete is what there will be countable number of categories, right? Correct. there we are counting it. Like after 100, I'm directly going, or I'm directly jumping on 101, then 102, then 103, like this. So it is discrete. Continuous means I should be able to take all the values between. So let's say if I'm measuring the height, right, height of anything or length of anything. So length of, let's say, some thread is there. So length of thread is, let's say, 2 meter. But if I have a precise measurement, in so I can measure it to 2.01 meter. Or if I have more precise measure instrument, then I can measure it to 2.033 meter or 2.0004 meter. Depending on my precision of that instrument, I can measure, right? But if I'm not worried about that 0.003 right now, because if I'm measuring the length of some pipe or something, right, doesn't matter, it is having 0.01 centimeter, that error does not count, right? In that case, I'll say 2 meter pipe, 3 meter pipe, 5 meter pipe. What is this then? This is discrete,
Discrete.
right? But in certain cases where the errors are very important, right, in terms of nut bolts, in terms of, right, in that case we can able to measure all the values in between. And if I'm collecting the data, so somebody has said, right, if I'm having round of if I'm done round of thing, in that case it is discrete, right? But if it is not rounded off, it is measured in terms of 2.001 centimeter or 2.003 centimeter. So that means I'm able to take all the values in between 2 and 3, that interval. So in that case, it is a continuous data. You understand, right? It will always be dependent on how you are collecting the data, what is the context of data, in what purpose you are collecting the data. Accordingly, you have to answer all these questions, whether it is discrete, whether it is continuous, what type of scale of measurement it is having, whether it is
Then, sir, in
nominal,
a
ordinal.
shopping bill, there is a quantity and price. Then both are continuous.
That's
Quantity,
what.
I can
How,
take
how, how you are
anything.
measuring? Okay, how are you measuring?
Suppose
Just tell
I
me.
am
Then
going
only
to
I'll
take
tell you answer.
1.7 kg something, and that price something point something.
Okay,
So,
then it will be a continuous one. So just
No,
just the rule
so,
is which is whatever thing is measurable, that is continuous. The thing is which is countable, that is discrete. That is the simple thing.
sir,
Excuse me,
if in
sir.
a table there is a column which says that I have 3 meters of pipe, 5 meter of pipe, and 7 meter
Mm.
of pipe. Okay,
Mm.
so if that are the only three values given,
Mm.
then we should consider it as a discrete, right? Because then we
Definitely.
should not extrapolate that there can
No,
be a
no,
pipe which is
no, no,
3.5.
no. You should say
Because
discrete.
in some data we have to extrapolate, and in some data we have to assume that whatever data is given, that we have to assume only that much. So that
Right,
is
right.
little bit
But
confusing
no,
sometimes.
no. See, whenever it is this kind of data, right, where that's what I'm saying. If that error doesn't matter too much, right? The error in measurement, like 5 meter pipe, 2 meter pipe of five. Generally, in general purpose, does it matter like if it is 5.01 meter? No, right? If it is mattered, then they have collected the data in terms of that precise instruments. So it is very, why we are actually doing this discrete and continuous categorization is, it is for prediction purposes. If you have the sense of data science, little bit of, so if you see, there will be input variables and there will be output variables, right?
Yes.
And most of the times we are interested in the output variable, which is the so sometimes we wanted to classify the data, so that means the classification problem will be there. So generally that classification problem is what, the discrete classes will be there, right? So that will be a
Sure.
discrete one. Sometimes it will be a continuous data, for example the prices of the houses, right? In that
Right.
case we have to consider it as a continuous label. Your understanding point. So
Yeah, but
here also in this data table you can see marks in percentages. I can consider them as continuous because 22.33 is coming there, 57.2 is coming there. So somebody can definitely have marks 57.23, right, percent, or 24% or 25%. That means I'm able to take so lot of values in between that interval, between 57 and 58. So that when we are able to take that many values, then it comes under the category of continuous, right? In terms of number of assignments submitted, I can submit one assignment, I can submit two assignments, or I can submit three assignments, but I can't submit 1.5, 1.25, or 1.35 assignments, right?
Yes, sir.
So like that. But I can have the data of number of assignments submitted, that 1.5 is submitted, right? Somebody who can do that also. Right.
How
It
that,
is
sir?
all. So most of the
Because
time, try to
normally,
answer.
yeah, because
No,
if I see like 3 meters pipe, then I would
Mm.
say that it is measured, so it will is continuous. So I will attempt like
okay,
that in
that is
exam.
okay. But how that okay? Leave about the exam purpose of you. When you why would you like this? Why would you collect this kind of data for some analysis purpose, right?
Yeah.
So if you do analysis, in that case, if it is 357-meter pipe, what will you do that with that information? That is a more important question, right?
Right.
Are you going to categorize the pipes, or are you going to measure the length of the pipe, right?
Oh yes, sir. Fine.
Accordingly, you have to decide. So whenever you are deciding any type of categorical or numerical data or any scale of measurement, it will always be by seeing the data what is present to
Okay.
you, right? Okay.
Okay, sir. Yeah, thank you.
Can you explain case, please?
I have already explained, right? So if you wanted to see, this is live YouTube live streamed, so you can just check the uh, streaming later on. I already explained that cases, and I think I have explained it 2 times. So you can just and okay, this sixth question is there. I'll explain with that. Try to answer this question. I'll explain the cases and
Okay, thank you, sir.
variables. Okay.
Sir.
Hello.
Hmm.
Sir, I have a doubt, sir.
Hello.
In the column number of the assignment submitted, so like if we assume that the Mayur has not submitted any assignment, so it will be 0.
Hmm.
But if the data is only like not provided to us, so we have put in like hyphen or dash. So this will, is this data still be a like numerical data, or it will be an incomplete?
No, I didn't understand. So
He's saying, sir, that if data has a not applicable NA, that the person did
okay,
not even.
missing values. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
So in that case, what is doubt? Then is it numerical or
Uh, yes, still it will
so
be a
so
numerical
first
or
of okay, for that thing you have to replace that NA value with something else. Maybe sometimes it will be average value, or that means mean or median or mode, or you can omit the data. That means you can remove that data point itself, and you try to find that. So it will be a numerical data definitely, right? If it is a numbers, so many, so out of 100 entries, one entry is NA. Okay, that means nothing is assigned to that person. That means you can just omit that data, or you can replace it with the average or something else. But number of assignments submitted will be having what, it will be a numerical variable.
So should I ask the question that I have a doubt in?
Hmm.
So here it says that the variable with an interval scale of measurement may be
Hmm.
converted into a ratio scale of measurement by
Hmm.
performing, and then 4 operations are given.
Hmm.
So I have checked the answer. It says
Subtraction.
subtraction, but
Hmm.
sir, I didn't get it, sir. How you can convert interval to ratio by subtraction operation? Can you, sir, a
Yeah.
little bit elaborate
Yeah.
on that?
Yes. Yes. I'll do that. Yeah.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Hmm.
If in the options in this question,
Hmm.
the column roll number itself,
Hmm.
if this is considered, then it should tick as a case or not? The
Sorry.
roll number, the column roll number itself, is it a case or not?
No. No. Roll number is a variable.
Not
Cases are
not
one
not
157.
not column. I mean the block only roll number.
What? This roll number, the written is
Yes,
roll number.
yes,
No,
yes.
it is not a case. It is a variable name. It's
It
a
is a
variable name,
very
right? Huh. Cases are 157, 298, 306, and 527. So the correct answer to this question should be option A and option C.
298. Yes,
Okay, C is also not there because 65 is not there present.
yes,
It's March.
298.
So only option A is correct. Okay. 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 I think we should move to the next slide. Option C should be A should be correct for this question. Okay. What kind of variables is marks? Just write it faster because now I think we have
Term set.
discussed
Isn't it
completed because I will explain that concept of how to convert interval scale into a ratio scale. Okay. Or with
Isn't the
by
marks a continuous variable, sir?
One, sir. One.
it's continuous. It's continuous numerical. Option A should be correct for question 7. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, time series and okay, this question is remained right. Okay, it's already 8:15. So yeah, let's do it within 15 minutes. So time series data and cross-sectional data. So what is time series data? The data recorded over the time. Now what is cross-sectional data? Is the data observed at the same time. 1 minute. Just let me finish. Once I'll finish these 8 questions, I will answer the questions in next 10 minutes. Okay. Okay. So what is the time series data? So time series data is the data recorded over the time. Okay. And what is cross-sectional data is the data observed at the same time. I will give you an example for this. Suppose I have collected the data like this. I say on 1st January. Okay, on 1st January, what I have done is the place and temperature. So I have said that Mumbai, Kolkata, and Chennai. So I measure the temperature at this 4 places on 1st of January. Let's say at 9 a.m. So 9 a.m. mostly the temperature will be like this: 25 degrees Celsius, 27 degrees Celsius. Let's say uh, 15 degrees Celsius, or Chennai is like let's say 35 degrees Celsius, like this. Okay. So in this table, what is happening here? This data is collected on the at the same time, right? At the same time for different places. So this is what type of data? Is it cross sectional or time series?
Cross-sectional.
Cross-sectional.
Cross-sectional, sir.
Cross-sectional, right?
Cross-sectional.
Because this data is collected at the same time
Different
at
places.
different locations or different places, right? If let's say at Mumbai, right? At Mumbai, I have collected this data at let's say on 1st of January at 9 a.m. So let's say 9 a.m. Temperature is, so I'll say this is time, this is temperature. 9 a.m. 9 a.m. it is let's say 90 degrees Celsius. 10 a.m. it is 20 degrees Celsius. 11 a.m. it is let's say 22 degrees Celsius. 12 a.m. it is 26 5 degrees Celsius, like this. So we have collected this data at Mumbai on 1st of January at different times. So what type of
The
data it
time
is?
series.
Time series data. It's a time series
Time
data.
series. So time series data is that data at one place or at one location or at one place at different times, right? On the same place at different times. If I am collecting the data, it is time series data. On the same date at different places or on the same time at different places, if I am collecting the data, it is cross-sectional data. Okay. So that is the concept behind the cross-sectional and time series data. Now just answer the question here. Question number 8. Which of the following are or is a cross-sectional data.
The second one.
The second option,
How many
sir.
questions are left?
Right. So the second question will be the correct answer. Second option will be correct answer. Fine. Okay. So yeah, I think we have finished the slides. Now the question is about this, right? How to convert the interval scale of measurement. Okay. So let's say okay, I'll take only one example. Okay, try to understand through that. Don't ask me the counter example over this. Okay. For example, I have the data kind of like this. So let's say place, temperature measured in degree Celsius. Okay. So places again, I'll take Mumbai. Let's say, okay. So temperature is, here it is, let's say 20 degrees Celsius. Okay, I'll take one more. Instead of Kolkata, I'll take maybe Shimla. Delhi is, let's say, around, here it is, I'll take 30 degrees Celsius, 20 degrees Celsius. Chennai is 40 degrees Celsius, and Shimla is let's say 5 degrees Celsius. Okay. So what kind of variable temperature is?
Numerical.
Numerical. What scale of measurement does it have?
Interval.
Okay. Okay. Right. All of you agree with this, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This
Yes, sir.
is numerical having interval scale of measurement. What type of variable place is?
Categorical.
Categorical.
Categorical. And what is the scale
Nominal.
of measurement?
Nominal.
Nominal.
Okay. So why temperature is the interval scale of measurement?
Absolute zero doesn't exist.
Absolute zero is not there, right? That means the difference between 20 degrees Celsius and 30 degrees Celsius is not the same between 30 degrees Celsius and 40 degrees Celsius. Are you
Yes,
agree
sir.
with this?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Right?
sir.
Right? Because zero is not a scale of reference here. Minus 273 degrees Celsius is a scale of reference. Hence, the interval between 20 and 30 is not the same as that of 30 and 40, right? Because I cannot say that 30 degrees Celsius uh, is, so I can say it's lesser than 10 degrees Celsius, but I cannot say that it is similar that of 20 degrees Celsius and 30 degrees Celsius, right? So it is not the similar, it is an interval scale of measurement. Now what I do is I'll take the difference, okay? I'll take the difference between the temperatures in, uh, let's say now I'll take the difference between Mumbai and Shimla. So what will be the temperature difference in Mumbai and Shimla? Again, it will be
25.
measured in degrees Celsius. So it will be, let's say, 25 degrees Celsius. Okay. Okay. What about Delhi and Shimla?
15.
15.
Okay. What about Chennai and Shimla?
35.
35.
And Shimla and Shimla is
0.
0. Now what I have done here? I have performed subtraction operation, right?
It makes its ratio scale.
Now how it makes, this difference 25, 15, 35 and 0, this difference, so don't consider now this variable. This difference in difference in temperature is a new variable, right?
Okay.
Yes.
Yes,
Right.
sir.
Okay, consider this as a new variable, and now tell me what is the scale of measurement of it?
It's a ratio, sir.
It is ratio,
Ratio.
because
Relative.
now it is having a reference of 0, right?
Yeah.
It will become a now it has the property of what? Absolute zero. Now the differences, or now the division between the temperatures, it makes sense. Now let's say this difference was, let's say it's 30 degrees Celsius. Suppose I'm supposing like
This
this.
is like we are calculating a relative zero, right, sir?
Yes, relative zero, that is the reference point. And now this variable, right, the new variable after subtraction operation, it is having ratio scale of measurement.
But
So
will
this is
that be
how.
considered? But sir, sorry
But
to.
this temperature, yeah, this but this temperature, it is again, it's having the interval scale of measurement. The difference in temperature
So
is having a ratio scale of measurement.
So then it will have a meaningful ratio.
Why it is interval?
Which one? Which one is interval? This is interval. Because it is not having absolute zero, right?
Difference in
Then
temperature.
the difference between marks is also ratio,
Sir,
right?
does this zero, sir, does this zero is an absolute? Because
Yes,
zero
this one is
in
absolute, right?
degrees Celsius.
Sir, it's a relative
But
absolute, right, sir?
Well, it's okay. Relative is, we know relative, but with respect to only the difference in temperature, that variable, what do you think about it?
And sir, what will be the units? It will still be centigrade. Degree centigrade.
Huh. What noise is coming from somewhere? I don't know.
Sir, if it is in Kelvin.
Kelvin
yes,
is always be the ratio scale. Kelvin we need not to worry about. I'm
Okay,
just talking
temperature
about.
is interval.
Okay, first of all, some noise is coming. Just stop it.
Sir, I'm saying that in difference temperature, the units are degree centigrade, right?
Yes, it will be unit degree Celsius. It is
Okay.
degree
And
Celsius.
then the ratios will be meaningful, means 5 degree.
Yes, I can say that the difference between the temperatures in Mumbai, between Mumbai and Shimla, is twice as the difference between the temperatures in Delhi and Shimla. If I make that statement, it makes sense, right?
Sir,
Because
got it, but
I'm make no see the thing is, don't get confused with this. It's like when I say the ratio between, or if when I say the temperature in Mumbai, okay, the temperature in Mumbai is 7 times that the temperature in Shimla. That is meaningless. Why? Because uh, this intervals, right? This temperature measured in degrees Celsius alone, and if I wanted to, compare that with by division operation, it does not make sense because it is having an interval scale of measurement. It does not have that absolute zero there.
Right.
So minus 273 degrees Celsius and minus 226 degrees Celsius, that minus one, right, that one unit, right, is not same as it between minus
yeah, I know
27.
that. Okay, I got it,
So
sir.
that thing. So but when I take the difference,
Yeah.
then I say that this difference, because when I will able to do that difference is when I do that subtraction operation, I have already come to that absolute zero. So I have changed the reference. I have changed the reference point. Okay. So when I am able to change the reference point, the new variable will have the properties of ratio scale of measurement, and I am able to change the reference point only by doing the subtraction operation. If you perform addition operation over it, right, then also it won't change. If you perform multiplication also, it won't change. With the division also, it won't change. Only with the subtraction operation
In this
I will be
particular
able to.
observations, we will never have a negative value, right?
Right, the difference in temperatures will not be having this, negative values, right? You try it.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
It won't have. You understand, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, fine.
So, if we do temp 15 minus 35, then it will be negative minus 20.
But does that make sense? How can you interpret it? Will you be able to interpret it?
It's
The
temperature,
difference is taken in modulus value, like mod of 15 minus 35. What you are saying? So then it will be
it will be 20
positive
degree,
value.
sir. It will be 20 degree lesser. Huh? 35 is in Delhi, and in somewhere it's 10. Then 15 degree is lesser in that.
Lesser is okay, because interval scale will in interval scale, if you study, we can be able to perform meaningful addition and subtraction operation. but try to answer it in the.
In temperature, sir, it makes sense. Man. It's minus 15 means it is colder over there compared to
But how
Delhi.
much colder? But how much colder?
Minus 15 degrees, sir.
No, minus 15 degrees Celsius.
So how would I say that?
Yeah, why you are not able to say, you know, because that is having interval scale. If you measure the temperature in kelvins, right? Because Kelvin is
Kelvin
having.
is okay, sir. I'm only confused in that this part. Kelvin is
Okay.
fine. It is ratio. I know that.
So I don't know like how to explain it to you. Then see the thing is, okay, just don't get confused with all the scales of measurement. That does not, you know, have much effect in, you know, in your journey ahead of it. But just understand that if you wanted to convert any interval scale of measurement, right, to the ratio scale of measurement, subtraction operation is needed. Okay, don't try to then because it, see, I have seen like from the previous terms experiences also, uh, if you try to think much over that point, right, you'll it will lead to some like confusion, and which is not needed,
Can I try, sir?
which what
Can I
I
try to
understand.
explain, sir?
If you want, you just try. You'll have 5 minutes. After that, we are
Okay.
closing the session.
So
Yeah.
here you can use the integer scale, right? So there are negative values there. If you are asked that what is the difference between 6 and -5, so what will be the answer?
Please repeat.
What is the difference between 6 and -5 or -5?
No, that is
11.
fine. Here
That's
I'm
11
saying that
difference.
Delhi is having 35 degree and Bombay is having 15 degree. So if I want to say that Bombay is colder than Delhi, then my answer would be minus whatever 10 or 15. Yeah, that's
It
what
is,
I'm saying.
but the difference is 15 degree, na? The
So
actual
10
difference is 15 degree. That
Yeah,
is, it is the difference, not.
when you say difference means it's colder or hotter. When you say colder means it's minus, and if it's hotter then it's plus.
That you are assigning that if when you are saying that it is colder, it is minus. So it is not about assigning some sign to it. Na? What it is that it is 15 degree less hot or 15 degree colder, you can say.
We
It
can
doesn't
say,
mean it is negative, na?
yeah, it's like you are taking the reference point as Delhi. So when you're taking the reference point as Delhi, then you are saying that Mumbai comes below it. But if someone will take the reference point as Mumbai, then we will say that Delhi is.
Okay, so I got it. So we are taking Simla as a reference point here. So
Yes,
we should always talk about Simla as a reference point with other cities.
yes,
Okay,
yes.
okay,
So
fine.
different.
Yes, I got it here.
Latitude is a discrete or continuous?
Continuous. Because we measure it.
Sir, is there any reading book for this? Because I think I have to go through it. Not clear.
Introduction of statistics as Rose.
The books are given in the course, the portal.
Thank you.
Those books are actually not full.
Introductory statistics by Neelay with C and everything.
Okay, so yeah, you can refer those books, but still I think see, if you solve questions here, right, in the portal, and if you see the lectures, I think that will be
Yeah, but to
you will be
solve
able to
these,
qualify.
yes, sir. But to solve these problems, I think I have to be very clear with the
Yeah,
difference.
you can refer.
Direct
Yeah,
and different.
no issues. You can refer, but I'm saying that if you don't have much time, then try to solve the questions, try to answer, because anyway, I do like there are some students who are writing the qualifier exam, right? So most probably it will be good if you stick to this, because most of the times the questions coming into the exams will be based on the questions given on the portal. So it's kind of similar questions will come, right?
Got it,
So
sir.
if you wanted to understand the concepts, if you are a term students already qualified, then you can just refer the books.
No, sir. We are like about to write the qualifier exam.
You can use if you have
Content
time.
is good.
I'm not against it, right?
No, I got it, sir. It's just that I just want to clear these variables, the discrete and
You
interval.
can read Neil Avis. I think it's a good book. Whatever
Which one,
is
sir?
there, right? The book which is given on the portal, Introductory Statistics by Neil Avis, something is there, right?
Okay, so will I get all these like
I
variable
think
concepts?
PDFs are available. I think are there.
Yeah,
Just
that's
try it.
okay, sir. But will I be getting these topics that we are talking about right now?
Yes, yes, yes. Variables and case are.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Sir, I
Okay.
have one doubt. Can I?
Huh.
Can any variable be categorical and numerical at the same time? And based on the context we are using it, I mean, based on the purpose we are collecting the data. Like suppose, one example which I have, maybe you have discussed it before, the GPA, which, I mean, the scores which we are getting in exams nowadays is GPA like. So that is sort of a qualitative at the same time quantitative type of, I mean, data, right? It appears to be like that. So if at all we get a question whether GPA has to be, I mean, we have to choose the answer
So
between
in
all
that
the
case,
four.
okay. Again, I will say that when I was when I am asking the question, right? The question should be very clear, and the thing is, the data context should be given, right?
Okay.
If the data context is like data context, how can I give is I'll mention the units, or I'll mention how it measured, or I'll give you the data table, right? So best while looking at the data table, while looking at the entries in the data table, you have to answer the questions. That is the right. You cannot generalize anything. So as you said, right, GPA can be categorical or GPA can be numerical, right?
Okay.
How you are saying that, right? So that is the thing. How you are showing the data, it depends on that. Okay. So
If I
Sad,
have a liberty to make the two choices, I'll go for ordinal and interval scale of measurement at the same time. Something like
yeah,
that.
but no. That's what
But
I'm saying.
GPA is a continuous, no?
So how you are
Ordinal, sir.
measuring it? How it is
Because
measuring? So
GPA can be
no.
9.5, 9.3, 9.2. It depends on the mark. So anything can be possible between these things.
So that's what how you are measuring the GPA, right? That is what. So if the GPA is given in like this 8, 9, 10, then that is discrete.
Discrete, yeah,
and
the type.
and then it is a
Okay.
numerical, and it is numerical. But if the GPA is given in terms of grades, like for example
ABC, something like that.
S, A, B, C, then again it is ordinal
Ordinal.
and
Okay,
category
totally depends on the data.
data.
Yeah, how we
Yes,
have collected it.
Okay.
you should not assume anything about anything, right? You just see the data first, see the variables given in the table, or how it is mentioned in the in the question. Based on that, write your answer. It is not, I cannot say directly from here that this data will have this scale of measurement, or it can be a numerical or categorical. You have to see the data. Based on that, your assumption should be there, right? Okay. The
Thank
last question, Saad, you have raised the hand. If you wanted to ask, then this
Yes,
question
sir.
I'll take,
Good
and then you.
evening. One quick doubt I have.
Okay,
Can you
sure.
explain difference between missing baseline and manipulated y-axis? Just a quick explanation. I don't
Okay.
want to
I
go in
think okay.
detail. Yeah, you
Okay,
can.
that is. I think week 2 concepts are there. So those who don't have started the week 2, they can drop off. We can discuss that basic baseline again in the next sessions. Or if you wanted to listen,
Sir,
it's
just
okay.
a quick
Yeah,
explanation. That's all.
I'll do.
Yeah.
Missing baseline and
Manipulated y-axis.
okay. So missing baseline means your graph is not started with 0.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So that will be missing baseline.
Got
And
it.
about the manipulated y-axis is the intervals between the scales,
Are
right?
not
For
equal.
example, are not equal, or they are exaggerated.
Okay. Okay. Now I get
Okay,
it,
that
sir.
is the manipulated y-axis, right?
Okay.
That means after 0, 5, and then you directly started with 20,
Yeah.
25
Yeah. The scale is
without
not
doing.
ideal along.
Yeah, again one more thing. If the breaks are given, then it is not a manipulated y-axis. Okay.
Okay, if
Breaks
breaks are mentioned, then it is not manipulated,
not
and if it is
manipulated.
not mentioned and the intervals are not
Yeah.
scaling through, I got your point. Thank you.
Okay. Fine. Okay.
Sir,
Thanks.
actually, sir, I asked Chat GPT to explain the same question, and it is saying me that you have to convert Celsius to Kelvin because it has an absolute zero in there. So that is how you do it.
See, that's whatever I like, I'm telling you. See, again, you can counteract me. It's not a problem. See, that's what I'm saying is
no, sir.
is
One
it,
student actually cleared it, so I think I can buy. She told me
okay.
that the reference point should be similar.
Yeah, reference point should be similar. That's
Okay.
what reference point should be similar means how you can come to that with the subtraction operation. You can convert it into the Kelvin. That's not a problem. It's possible, right? But that is another operation actually altogether. It's not a mathematical operation, right? Converting degrees Celsius into the Kelvin, it's not mathematical one, right? In the sense with the same data, right? You're adding some numbers there, but it's okay, and it is not having much, uh, much importance to that concept actually. How to convert interval scale into ratio scale? It
I
does not
spent
have much.
actually more time. So only this point I was having confusion. I've
No
spent
issues.
more time on that.
Yeah, you can read about it, but
What is
in
a reference
practical
point?
purpose, it's
I
not
didn't get it.
much.
Okay, sir. Yeah.
Sir, what was this reference point?
Reference point is in general, that is, it can be arbitrary or it can be so in zero in Kelvin, right? It is
So, sir,
0 Kelvin.
in what constant context it was?
See, the 0 Kelvin is what? It's a reference point for the temperature to be measured, right? But in general, 0 Kelvin we cannot measure, right? It's a theoretical concept, correct? But it's a 0 Kelvin. It's a temperature measuring point. You can measure the temperatures from around minus not minus, sorry, okay, around 7 kelvins or 8 kelvins or maybe 10 kelvins. From 10 kelvins practically we can measure actually, not 10 also. So 273 minus, okay, around 263 kelvins. So we can start from 263 kelvin actually to measure the temperatures. But the 0 kelvin is a reference point where we are saying that no temperature is there, or that means no molecular activities are there. That is a theoretical one. That is a reference point. Or for any race to start, what is the reference point, right? Some reference point that is arbitrary one, right? So you can say that, okay, this is the line from which I am starting. For natural numbers, what is the reference point? 1, right? From natural numbers are started from 1 or 0, okay, or 0, or whole numbers are started with 0, natural numbers are started with 1, or any other. So these are the reference points for that measurement, right? Okay, I think we should stop now. It's 8:45. We'll meet in the next sessions followed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. It was
Thank you, sir.
informative.
Thank you very much,
Thank
sir.
you so much, sir.